Welcome to another episode of our real estate podcast, Hustle and Motivate with Cyrus and Dani.
Brought to you exclusively by the Pacific West Association of Realtors.
How's everything?
Hi, friend.
How are you?
Going all right. I'm doing all right. How are you? I miss you.
I know. I'm trying to just stay sane here. It's insane with everything that's going on right now.
Yep, it is. Our home life has definitely changed a little bit. I mean, because I'm obviously working from home, Connor's working from home, and we have a 1-year-old who is getting into everything right now. And, you know, luckily for me, I have a little bit more flexibility with my schedule, obviously, but he's still very like 9 to 5. And so obviously I don't have my nanny right now. So I'm very much having to be full-time mom, full-time realtor, full-time everything. It's hard right now, but we're making it through.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was talking to a client the other day and I was telling them, they were like, how's everything going with you? I was like, well, my new office, my house,
Yeah.
I had an in-home office and now my whole house is my office.
Yeah.
I have papers over here and it's a mess. It's insane.
Everything is everywhere. I know that was one of my, I actually sat down because I feel like I'm kind of getting like a little bit lost right now, where normally I have a very regimented schedule and now it's just kind of like a free for all. We're just trying to survive. And I had to make goals. So I made like 10-day goals. Like, what do I want to accomplish in the next 10 days? And one of the things I wrote down was get more organized, because I'm just, all over the place, like not just with work, but with everything. I just have like kid toys everywhere. And I'm like, okay, this isn't, we got to pick it up. We're going to pick it up before we go to bed every day. I don't know. It's a new normal right now. I know it's not going to last forever. This too shall pass. But until then, I'm going to have to change things up a bit, make it work.
Yeah. I've cleaned out my whole garage. I've cleaned I've deep cleaned everything. And now I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I think I'm one of those people that when I'm dealing with something hard, I just go clean, So I had that. It's insane. Yeah. So anyways, it's an interesting time for real estate right now, because it's, we're such a relationship business. We're such a face-to-face business.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are learning that, one, we can do business not having to be face-to-face. And two, we can still have relationships through what we're doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've just been trying to, continue to stay in front of my clients, in front of my friends, but really I'm just coming from a completely different, unique perspective. I am not pushing selling real estate right now. I'm just trying to be a good person and just try and let everyone know that I'm here for them, that I'm there for them, whatever they need. I want to be, of support. But luckily, business is still happening. The real estate industry is still moving. I can't tell you, I have so many clients, especially in this perfect little price point right now where, a month ago it was multiple offers on every single house, and it's still multiple offers on every single house. So it's just time for us to adapt and figure out ways to keep this going while keeping, most importantly, everyone's health and safety top priority.
That's the best word. And that's where I've been talking to a lot of different people about it. And it's look, it's not so much, what's going to happen. We're in a whole new real estate reality. I think that the industry is going to be changed forever. Right. I mean, you get reminded of, back, 10, 15 years ago, they had the MLS. It was just in a book, it wasn't online.
Yeah.
And now the MLS is totally online. And now we're realizing that we can do business from, virtually. We're realizing that so much part of our business is through DocuSign, through e-signing and things like that. And so that's a really cool thing. So I think it's a good thing that we kind of share how I think you and I have been talking this whole time about how we're building our businesses virtually and bringing them to 100% virtually. And I think that it's a cool thing that we can share with everybody today about, how to bring your business virtual.
Absolutely. And I just think that while we have all of these amazing new tools and, you know, technology at our fingertips that we can better serve our clients, I truly think that this is where realtors who have the heart for the industry are truly going to shine. And the people who really don't have that kind of desire to truly help people buy and sell houses, it's where those people are going to kind of fall to the wayside. So it's the people that really want to help their clients in every single situation. This is where they're going to thrive, as long as they start implementing these new tools in order to help them really do well in their business and just continue to take care of their clients.
Exactly. And adapt. And that's what the industry is, right? Like that's
always changing.
Long term, it's gonna change. You're gonna consistently see change and change, especially with all the new tech that comes out every single day. And right now,
there's a new form that comes out every single day. People have to stay on top of it always.
Exactly. And I think
this is just a different breed, what we're going through right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's rather than it being, this change over the next couple of years, it's happened in the last couple months, actually weeks, really, right? We've had to rapidly change our business within the matter of a couple weeks.
Yep.
And every single day it's changing even more. So it's time to adapt. It's time to figure out if you're not keen on, I keep telling my agents, if you're not keen on Google Hangout, Zoom, if you don't know how to use those, platforms, video, FaceTime, so on and so forth, it's time to learn, and it's a good
learn. You have to, because this is the only way that we're going to be in front of people. I don't know about you, but I don't particularly, right now, this day and age is all about being face to face. And like I was going to say, I don't know about you, I personally don't love long old phone calls with people that I wasn't necessarily expecting to hear from, and I don't. And so that's why it's so fun lately with Zoom in particular. You can invite a ton of people and just have like a afternoon happy hour, just a bunch of people hanging out, even though you're not necessarily, yes, you are face to face, but we're not in the same room, but it has that feeling, and it's huge. You have to be able to adapt to something like that.
That's an interesting thing. Like last week I did it was all of my friends. We all got on a Zoom call and we were all hanging out. We played charades, right? And then it was like a couple days later, and it was one of my friend's birthdays. And I was like, oh, I just hung out with him. And I was like in my mind, I thought I just hung out with him, but I really didn't, what I mean? Like it was just over FaceTime and Google. But even during this time, I've done multiple buyer consults, multiple listing presentations, all online.
Absolutely.
And yesterday I got a call from one of the listing presentations. They're like, hey, we love what you do. We want you to list the property. And so of course now we're going to go. It's really cool. It's kind of an interesting thing because it's something, like I said, that's brand new. No, not ever did I think I would do a listing presentation online, right?
Yeah.
I always would go meet with the client, but it's really, it's really about adapting. And so it was probably the first. We were supposed to the listing presentation I did, it was on the 17th of March last month. And it was right when it was the day they said in LA County shut down all restaurants. And we were supposed to meet at Nick's on 2nd.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's actually my favorite restaurant.
Oh my gosh, the butter cake is amazing.
Yeah, so good.
So we were supposed to meet there, and then they shut that down, and then we all were like, let's just get on a Google Hangouts call. And so we did that. And then it's been, gone through all of this change in the last couple of weeks. And they called me yesterday and we're like, yeah, we want to
move forward. Yeah.
And I was like, pretty cool. It's pretty interesting, So, but it's about that, right? It's about connecting with people in some way. You have to figure out how to make your business work, because if you don't, you will sink at this point.
Mm-hmm. Got to keep going. It's kind of like I was speaking with my broker yesterday, and her coach always tells her you got to have 2 oars in the water. You always got to keep going. But right now it's okay. Just have 1 oar in the water. We're just trying to float. We're just trying to make it through. It's not going to be like this for forever, but we have to adapt for the time being.
Exactly. And I really personally think that it will make us better agents in the long run. Absolutely. And we're learning new ways to service our clients. Right. And that's the cool part about it for me. As much as it's kind of, overwhelming and scary, it's kind of fun too, because we're learning, like for me, I'm learning that I can do XYZ. I can knock out like 20 meetings in a day now.
Yeah. Without the drive time, it's actually really, really nice.
Yeah.
But you also have to read your client. You need to know, is this the kind of person that is into technology where I can, this is right now, everyone has to get into technology. It just is what it is. When this is all over, is this person super tech savvy and they're good with doing a Zoom listing presentation, or are these people a little bit more old school? We're just going to have to figure it out as we go. But the nice thing is we have all of these options now, and I'm here for it. I'll take it.
And the reality is, like, we had the options, we just weren't utilizing them. And that's the cool thing about it. That's the cool thing is, like, now, like, I think that it's bringing our industry forward so many years in such a quick time.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting. I'm not sure what'll end up happening with everything once once we're able to go out and, give each other hugs again and do all that. I did a closing. I closed on a property the other day, and it was really strange because we all had gloves and masks on and we had to stay 6 feet apart. And I'm like used to like hugging and like being like super excited and
exciting and celebrating and everything like that. I get it.
Yeah, that was weird. But, at the same time, it's part of it. Right. And the clients are happy and the clients are stoked that they're in their new house and they can have a better quarantine space.
Exactly. Actually, that's one thing that I was telling my clients the other day. I said, look, I know that everything is kind of up in the air, but I take so much comfort and solace in the fact that I have my home right now. I'm here, I'm safe, I'm comfortable. No one's gonna up my rent. I know exactly what I have to pay every single month, and I take so much comfort in that. I mean, everything else is uncertain. What's not uncertain is where I live and my shelter and where my family needs to sleep at night. And I take a lot of, that makes me
that's
really,
huge.
really, really happy. Yeah, it's huge. So with your new listing that you have coming up, obviously, our showings and everything like that are going to be different. Are you going to be doing any sort of different marketing in order to, really showcase the property so people can still feel like they're going through?
Yeah. So actually what I did was when this all started happening, so I had been working on like doing virtual reality in all of our listings anyways, for like the past, year. And I'd been working on like different tech and things like that. And so now it's really cool because we've already been implementing it. So what we did was we ended up just making sure that every single one of our listings, because I was implementing on certain listings, because the interesting thing about 360 photography, just in general, or 360 videography, is you see literally everything. So if the house is not in pristine condition in every angle, someone's going to see that. Right?
Absolutely. So, it's almost like at one point you were kind of like, do I really want to showcase this? But now it doesn't matter. You need to, if this is how buyers are going to actually be inside of a property, they need to see every single nook and cranny. It's almost like a liability factor too. You're just like, hey, if this is what we're showing you, you need to know everything about this house. It doesn't matter if it's not pristine. You need to know this is what this house looks like and we're going to be okay.
Exactly. And so what we've done is, like on this new listing, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up shooting with 360 photography, 360 videography. And then what I've really, really utilized is Zillow has, so now the MLS, we're allowed to do, we have virtual open houses, right? And we were all trying to figure out how's that going to work, right? So what I've done with my listings is I've pretty much set the virtual open house to every single day. From 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And on Zillow and Redfin and everything, it's got a little ticker that says virtual open house. Well, it just goes to the link that you put for your virtual open house.
Yeah.
If you have a 360, what do you call it? 360 scan of the property or whatnot, it's going to link to that 24/7.
Yeah, that's really convenient. And buyers are going to love that.
Exactly. And I've had buyers call me and say like, hey, I saw it. It's amazing. And what's really cool about right now is the buyers that are looking are very serious.
Absolutely. With this whole entire market has really weeded out everyone who wasn't really sure, was kind of on the fence before, because interest rates are still crazy low. So it's still a great time, but the only, we don't know what's going to necessarily happen in the future, but the people who want to be homeowners are still out there, still trying to become homeowners, 1,000%.
And it's just a way now it's just about finding a new way for buyers agents, for agents that are looking for buyers, you got to find a new way to connect with those buyers, right? Like it's not just open houses anymore, and And that's part of that same thing that you said, adapting, right? You have to find a way to connect with them. And I think that what I'm coaching a lot of people into is like, you need to be staying on top of mind every single day with everybody on social media, on any way that you can. You need to be connecting with with your sphere, with your people, because right now, I mean, I was reading a study that like, I forget what the percentage is, but the percentage of screen time is up like tripled, you know?
I turned off, honestly, so I have like a little, I have a limit of time that I'm allowed to spend on Instagram a day, and I just turned it off. I'm like, I'm just going to, like, this is just a wash. This month is a wash. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because like
6 p.m. and I'm like, they're like, you're done for the day. I'm like, oh my God, I would like never hit this before. And now here I am. It's like, okay, time to take a step back.
yeah, but like that's exactly what I'm saying, right? Like so many people are on it way more. So if you're not connecting with the people on it, you're losing a lot.
It's a waste of time if you aren't doing it, you know, with an intention.
Exactly. And so that's, I've been really connecting, you know, telling my agents and other agents like, hey, this is what we should be doing. You should be, you know, on your social media, you should be posting, talking about whatever, you know, your day. Don't just post about real estate. It's about being top of mind, because when this whole thing ends, when quarantine ends, whenever that is, whether it's in a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, whenever it's going to end, I know, whenever it's going to end, it will. And there's going to be an influx of those people that were thinking about buying that will end up wanting to go look at properties. And if you're not top of mind, you're going to end up losing that buyer because someone else is going to be top of mind.
Always need to, just not even with quarantine going on, but just in business in general, all of the activities that you're doing right now, you're going to be feeling next quarter. So if you're not working these next 2-3 months, then and you don't have any people that you're actively showing, you're not going to have those people in 3 months from now. Absolutely.
90-day cycle.
100%.
Yeah. So, you know, so going back to it, like we're doing I'm doing a lot more. I'm spending more money on ads, on ad campaigns and things like that. We're seeing that we're getting a lot of results from like Facebook ads, Instagram, so on and so forth.
Well,
we're getting a lot more results.
That makes sense.
What was that?
I said, well, you know, people are on, you know, they're just sitting on Facebook and Instagram all day. You might as well use it to your advantage.
Exactly. And so what we're seeing is like, we're actually being able, like our cost per click has gone down dramatically. So like, basically, I don't know, for everybody that doesn't understand what that is, it's basically how much we pay for each person to click on our ad, right? And it breaks it down. And so our cost per click has gone down dramatically, and we're still getting a lot of activity. And what we found is there's still a lot of people out there buying. You know, it's just, I talked to someone last night and she was like, I just didn't know how I'm going to connect with an agent because I would usually just go to an open house and meet somebody.
Not anymore.
And I was like, well, you know, here I am.
Yep, exactly.
You know, and so that's what we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot more ads. And everything's virtual. Everything's 360 photography.
I've been doing a lot of Matterport where you can like walk actually like through the house, and I think that's actually a really cool just technique to use, because it actually, you're like, oh, I want to go check out the closet, oh, I want to go from the kitchen, and you can actually like really see like the full flow. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
Matterport's really legit. There's a bunch of different subscriber, you know, whatever services or whatnot that do it. There's like another one called Kula, another one Astor Room. There's all kinds of them. Some are really cool because there's like one that you can, as an agent, they actually sell a little connection on Amazon, and you put it on your tripod, you put your phone to it, and it shoots it 360 with your iPhone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really, so there's all kinds of tech, and the technology's here, so we might as well use it.
Yeah.
You know, and then
right
Zillow,
now we have to use it to our advantage because, you know, we're not meeting buyers at, you know, 10 properties on a Saturday. That just isn't happening right now. So we need to figure out ways in order to get buyers into our properties, you know, best way possible is really
exactly. And Zillow has a 3D tour thing now. So actually, if you have a listing, you can go with your iPhone, or they have like a certain camera that you could use. but you can take your iPhone and literally you just take your iPhone, hold it, and just do like a panoramic shot around, and it does the 360 kind of effect. And now it's on Zillow. And
Oh,
so
that's
now
really cool.
the buyer can see, you know, your virtual walkthrough video that you take your phone and you hold it like this and you walk through the property, right? And then they can also click on your 3D scan and they could see the property. So even if you don't have access to somebody that's doing Matterport, or you don't have the funds to pay, like
There's ways to do it without spending $1 million. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay, so say we already got into escrow, you're selling your house, you finally have a buyer there now. I mean, there's a lot of things that get done. There's a ton of inspections that take place. How have you been handling that? Like, how do you handle a normal home inspection? Because usually, you know, it's me, my buyers, the inspector, and we all kumbaya in the living room, and that's not happening anymore.
Yeah. So what I did, so I did this in a property in Laguna. What we did was we had the inspector go. It's a vacant property, so I gave him I had him open the doors. He went in. He did the whole inspection, and then we all jumped on a Zoom call. Actually, well, I use a different service, but it's essentially the same thing. We jumped on a call and he discussed the inspection. He went over the red line items, everything. And then he jumped off. Me and my buyers, we were able to talk about it. And we were good. You know, they went over it. They went through it. We wrote up a repairs request. And then we sent it over to the seller. I did the same thing. Did a call over video call. I think the cool thing is more people are allowing themselves to be on video calls too now.
Yeah.
It's like before, people would like not really be comfortable. They'd be like, no, I'd rather just do a phone call. But I really think that like when you're on a video call, it's the best, it's the closest you can get to like an actual connection.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's a powerful thing in real estate.
There's much different thing when you're able to sit here and look at other people's faces and use your hands and talk how you normally would than just sitting on the phone and you're just like, you know, when I'm on the phone, I'm just like walking in circles because that's what I can't sit still. But at least here, if I'm sitting here looking at you, I'm going to sit still. Well, usually.
Yeah, exactly. Just because if I don't, then I'm off the frame. So
exactly. But so for my latest home inspection, which actually was super cool because it's like 5 houses up from my house. So it's a vacant house. So I was able to go. I went 15 minutes early, opened up the doors, just kind of sat out front, waited for the inspector to arrive, and then I just left. I went home and I just said, hey, let me know when you're done. And after he left, I went and locked everything up, sanitized like crazy, of course.
Yeah.
And then we did the same thing. We hopped on a Zoom, and this is where it really comes down to. You need to have an inspector on your team. Obviously, for liability reasons, you need to let your clients pick who the inspector is, but you know who is going to be willing to hop on a Zoom call and spend this time with the clients how they normally would, because some people aren't going to be, you know, into doing that. And you need to make sure there's someone on your team who is going to continue to serve clients and adapt the same way that we are.
So I was talking to our inspector too about, because we're going to have to do an inspection on a property that's occupied. And the client is the seller, it's not my client. The seller is really nervous about it. And what our inspector is going to do is they have these suits that they go and go under, inspect foundations. You know, it's a full body suit and everything. And he's like, no, I have one that it's brand new or whatnot. He's going to put that on. It's a full body thing with gloves and everything. And he's going to go in and do the inspection fully in his suit.
Perfect.
Which is it's perfect. Exactly what you said. It's
might be a little bit annoying for him, but if he wants to, you know, have the business, he's going to wear the suit. It's going to be okay.
Exactly. It's adapting.
Yep. Exactly.
Everybody has to adapt. So that's really cool. Yeah. And so that's really cool that with the inspection. And I think that, you know, the clients, if you have good rapport with them and they trust you, they trust who they're using, so on and so forth, they're going to trust the process.
Absolutely. Yep. It really comes down to who you are as an agent. Do you have the heart to truly take care of them? And they're going to understand. I mean, honestly, clients don't, a first time home buyer isn't going to know the difference, that this isn't the way that things normally went. And that's okay. It just really comes down to, are you taking care of them? Do you have their interests at heart? And, luckily there's a lot of tech that we've all been implementing anyways, DocuSign, DigiSign, so you don't have to meet up for every single signature. That's something that realtors have already been using for forever. So luckily, that's just kind of a what's the well-tuned machine, well-oiled machine?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
something like that. Either way, that we already have unlocked. So, people are like, do I have to sign everything in person? It's like, there's certain things that you do need to sign. Loan docs have to get notarized. That's something that isn't probably going to go away anytime soon, but that's why, we have mobile notaries, and you don't have to go to UPS in order to get things signed anymore. There's ways to do everything to keep, people's health and safety top of mind.
Yeah, the notary, the mobile notary that I was very impressed, and I actually requested our escrow company to like use him more often on this specific notary. Is they went to the buyer's house. They had a fold out table, a light because it was nighttime. He put a fold out table, a light, and then he had gloves, a mask on and everything, had brand new pins in a package, gave it to the buyers and said, and gave them gloves and masks as well.
That's
and said,
great.
here's this. And then they were able to sign all of their loan docs and everything outside, being still maintaining 6 foot distance and everything. I was really impressed.
Yeah, that's great.
So mobile notaries are adapting too. It's really
everyone has to. If people want to keep working and people want to keep making money, we don't know. As of right now, the real estate market is still going strong. We don't have crystal balls. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 3, 4, 5 months. But right now, it's still going strong. So people need to. We're considered essential workers. I'm not saying go out and show 10 houses on a Saturday, but you can absolutely continue to run your business virtually and still make money, still be able to have dinner for your family, and not worry about things like that.
100%. And I mean, I think I have a question for you. So virtual. So are you doing any like showings at all, or how are you handling showings right now?
So one thing I've always really prided myself as being a very open and communicative agent to other agents. So when a client, is really interested in a property or multiple properties, I do all of the, virtual inspections. And if the property is vacant, it makes it a little bit easier, which is nice. I'm willing to, put on a mask, put on gloves, be incredibly smart, and FaceTime walk them through a house. One thing that I think is really smart, that what someone on my team did for their listing was, and it was like a hot property, is do everything subject to inspection. As long as you're communicative with the other agent and say, hey, look, I really want to come through this house. My buyers really, really enjoy this house. However, for everyone's health and safety, they don't need 20, 25 people walking through a house right now. So why don't we write a solid offer? We can, really come to agree on terms. And then when we know that this is probably going to be a deal, then we'll go in. That way, not 100 people are walking through a property and everyone is exposed to everyone that's come through, but really only the serious buyer who are out there wanting to buy a house. This is not the time for the people that are, just looky-loos and neighbors wanting to walk in. Oh, can we see what that house looks like? No, you can't. That's not the way that this works right now. But it really will weed out those people who are actually serious. So I've been doing a lot of subject to inspections, and as long as I'm communicative with the agent and say, hey, look, this is serious, this is not BS, my buyers really like this place, but we're just trying to be health and safety conscious, people totally understand.
Yeah. And I think that's the really cool thing about the industry that I've seen more than ever, is that people have come together.
Yes.
And are willing to work with each other. And realizing,
be like that though. You should always, I say, you need to be the kind of agent that other people that you would want to work with, because there's a lot of agents out there that I'm like, if I never have to work with them again, I'm not going to be sad, Always, that's true. Be the kind of agent that I would want to work with time and time and time again. And it's time for us to, we need to come together as a community. It's not the time to think of other realtors as our, inherent competition. It's time to really come together, help one another, continue to put these deals together, not for our pockets, but for our clients, because people still need to be in homes.
100%. I 100% agree with that. And I think that's an amazing note to end this session on, because it's really about working together and being together as a team, because our realtor community is a team.
Absolutely. We got to keep, and then eventually in the end, we can all kumbaya and hug each other. We made it through.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful day.
You're awesome. You too. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in for this week's episode. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Cyrus Andre,
At Danny Femmel, and at PacWest Realtors.
keep hustling.
And stay motivated. We want to remind everyone that these opinions are our own and may not reflect those of the association.